Monday, July 7th. Just in case nobody knew, Tariff Day is July 9th. So if you're waking up and you're seeing the markets down, FYI, you knew what to expect. I'm gonna go over some big catalysts this week that could happen. Go over some of the stocks that I'm seeing. We got Prime Day. There's a lot in this episode, and it's all down in the description. So if you want to skip ahead, go ahead. I just want to start out with I went on a rant, I guess last week, about taxes and my particular situation, how after April, every dollar that I make, 50 cents goes out in taxes to the federal government. Yes, it's rounded up. I think the actual number is like 48, but it was to make a point. If I told you 48 cents out of $1, I mean, that makes it's 50, just round up when you can, when you have wins, when you have losses, when you just round up, if you will. But I was doing that rant and you boys decided to take some vacation. So this week I will be off. I'm not sure which days, but most likely the later half of the week I won't be doing podcast. I will announce the winner of the 1-year TrendSpider. We're in the process of picking that. So subscribers to the newsletter, you are entered to win. Any subscriber to the newsletter, paid or unpaid or free. So you are entered to win. We'll pick that, and hopefully before I go on vacation, we'll have some type of announcement. I'm not exactly sure, but the markets, yeah, we're red. I mean, it's not deep red, but we're in a buy the dip market, in my opinion. And you want to know, here's something that we're going to celebrate, okay? It's the 3-year anniversary of Alpha Picks. And you can't see this on the screen, so go to the newsletter and look at this. But this portfolio right here, it says 181% versus the S&P at 64%. The Alpha Picks portfolio was founded on 7/1/22. I became a paying customer, I think, at the end of 2022, and then they offered me to become an affiliate in February 2023. So I was a paying customer before I was an actual affiliate. It's a phenomenal portfolio. Okay, it's tripled the S&P over 3 years. It's a great portfolio. 20% off your first year. Okay, it's on sale. How do you get to it? Well, you go over to Linktree. Literally, the link is down below, and it's the 4th link. But if you want to know the performance, there you go. 186 versus 65, almost tripling the S&P. And you save 20%. Again, this sale ends today. And let's go over one other thing, okay? This is my favorite email that comes out at Friday at 3 o'clock. Came out at 12 o'clock on Friday because we were all off on Friday for the July 4th holiday. It guides you through the upcoming week. So it's not something that looks backwards, it's something that looks forward. And this is a benefit of seeking Alpha Premium, which, by the way, has a sale. You can get a free 7-day trial. And it's a fantastic email. Now, what I read through this, I've got my game plan for the whole week. What am I going to highlight? On Thursday, you have Delta Airlines reporting. Delta Airlines. Is this a good stock? Well, let's go look at Delta Airlines. Let's just look at DAL. Okay, this is the Delta Airlines. The 4-hour algorithm got you in at $49.53. You're trading at $50.80. Got you in June 24th. June 23rd, if this was one that was on your watch list, traded all the way down to 45. So you'd be up about 10% right now if you were watching Delta and you knew that their earnings are coming up. Is it a good one? Well, let's just look at it. Again. Oh, ASMR. Yeah, I haven't had my water. So you're going to get some vocal fry here. But 5 days, you're up 2.39%. One month, you're up 4%. 6 months, you're down 13%. You're in the middle of your 52-week range. The Quan has it as a hold. Okay, it's had it as a hold since 43. Hasn't guided you up, even though you've been up. We've talked about the travel sector with Carnival Cruise Lines being a big winner. But Wall Street has it as a strong buy. Their average target price, $58.03. You want to analyze it with AI? Go right there. Okay, it will analyze everything. The valuation, the growth, profitability. You don't need to know a thing. You just have to know how to read. And you can get an analyst report within 30 seconds made by AI. That right there is the benefit of having Seeking Alpha Premium. Okay, not only do you get the Catalyst Watch, but you can do all the research by yourself. And again, this sale ends today, but you do get a free 7-day trial. So where do you get it? You go over to Linktree. It's the third link. The second link is the best of both worlds. You get premium and alpha picks, and you're saving $160 off. So if you'd like those two things, it's the last day for the sale. Get the Catalyst Watch. Those are 2 reasons to sign up for the Seeking Alpha bundle. And then we've got TrendSpider. Okay, TrendSpider is the charting program that I use, and it is the top link right here on Linktree. They extended their sale for one more day. One more day. Don't miss out on the savings. This is the biggest sale, both Seeking Alpha and TrendSpider. It's the biggest sale you're going to get until Black Friday. So don't come to me and say, well, they stopped the sale. You've had weeks, a couple of weeks now of sales. And if you're sick of me bringing it up, well, maybe go and try them, because TrendSpider, you can try for 2 weeks. And you can import this market structure break. It's a detector. Swing high, a high with 2 higher highs on either side. Swing low, a low with 2 lowers on the either side. And it gives you the source code. Go and import it. Again, TrendSpider has a trial out there for 50 cents a day. 2-week trial, 50 cents. If you don't think that these types of things are worth 50 cents a day, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know why you're listening to me. But again, take the opportunity to try it. And you can import this directly into your TrendSpider. Try it out for 2 weeks. If you don't use it, no harm, no foul. What are you out, $7? I mean, skip lunch. The value meal at McDonald's doesn't give you the quality that this stuff does. So again, the people who complain that I go over this stuff and I do, those are the same effing people that clap when the fucking plane lands. Do not fucking clap when the plane lands. Okay? Mike takes you through an hour right here. TrendSpider expert, Mike. He takes you through an hour of trying to find the next Oscar. You may not know Oscar. It may not be within your realm. But I will tell you, from Oscar, go to 1 month. It's up 12%. 6 months, it's up 14%. Year to date, up 22%. This is a huge, huge runner. It's a huge, huge runner. I think it's up 300% over a crazy time period. But again, if you want to know Oscar, and I tell people, hey, Oscar in the 4-hour algorithm makes you 62%. So all you had to do was literally just sign up for the yearly plan, and you'd be out right now with a 4% gain. But waiting to get back in, that's the key. That's the key. The 4-hour algorithm tells you when to get back in. So I went over this a little bit before I went into my rant about clapping when the plane lands. But we got July 9th just taken off the table a little bit, okay? They've said that there's an August 1st deadline for the tariffs, but they've gone more into tariffs. Expect a taco trade. Expect the markets to not believe it until it actually happens. That's the key. Why August 1st? Well, I have a theory on this one. Trump to start sending tariff letters on Friday gives 10 to 70% range. Again, we're July 7th right now. He put July 9th. What's Friday? July 11th? 12th? Somewhere around there? He's going to start sending letters. He's chickening out. And you want to know why they put August 1st on there? Guess what's happening at the end of July? A Fed meeting. And that's big. Because this weekend, one rate cut is expected. Okay? That's it. But this particular quote, okay, this particular quote right here, when Jerome Powell was speaking, Powell admitted this week that if it weren't for Trump's tariffs, the Fed would have likely lowered rates by now. In effect, we went on hold when we saw the size of the tariffs. It was the big fucking board, the big board. We saw the size of the tariffs, and essentially all inflation forecasts for the U.S. went up materially as a consequence of the tariffs. Trump has constantly shot himself in the foot. And it's the tariff talk. He wants lower rates. He wants Jerome Powell. No, he wants a scapegoat. He's basically playing the Fed a little bit by saying, I want lower rates, but I want my tariffs too. If he wanted lower rates, he could actually just talk the talk and say, we're going to wait until the Fed cuts rates and then we're going to go into tariffs. And boom, Jerome Powell would actually be backed into a corner. He'd have to lower rates. I mean, that's, again, you want play a little chess. But Trump's got something else up his sleeve. Again, the man is not stupid. No matter what you say, the man isn't stupid. Now, the stock index futures pair losses as hopes for trade deals rise. Okay? This is part of it. The 10-year Treasury rose 1 basis point, 4.37. We talked about that. We talked about the VIX. This is a buy the dip market. It is until it isn't. And when isn't it? Well, Morgan Stanley says, hey, the tariffs remain a critical variable on the outlook for markets. So you've got to make a determination. Are we in that buy a dip market, or is Liberation Day number 2 coming? I don't know. I don't know what the actual point is. But again, the tariffs remain in focus. And he's focused on, by the way, the BRICS countries now. Came out a little later, but he's focused on the BRICS country. Now, my TQQQ strategy, because of the seasonality, Tech's best stretch each year is here. July has been QQQ's strongest month over the last 15 years, a 94% win rate with a 4% average return. But the window closes fast. August cools off, September turns red. Again, this is a benefit of TrendSpider. So we can go over there and we can look at that. Say you didn't have TrendSpider. Say you didn't have seasonality. Well, you don't know that 15 years, over 15 years, not when you break it down by month, but when you break it down by week. We are here. Mean change during this week is 2% for QQQ. Okay? Next week, you only win 33% of the time. It's actually down. So maybe the tariff stuff may come Friday because they said, hey, he's going to send out letters, and next week is down. So if you're playing the market by week, if you've got trades, understand seasonality plays a role. And what am I doing? I'm playing TQQQ. I think I'm up 1% on this one. If you use the 4-hour algorithm, you're up 8%. TQQQ is down 1.4% in pre-market. Now, over the last 15 years, it matches, okay, except for the return. The return next week, minus 0.72. And then you get into a good week, which is 2.0. Again, this is the last 15 years. So I'm just playing a triple leveraged ETF against seasonality. I'm not loading the boat on this one. It's a couple $1,000. Nothing that I can't afford to lose, but it's not going to zero. I may lose 10%. I may lose 20%. That's a few $100s. It's not loading the boat. But it's nice to add those little singles up, and at the end of the year, you get a nice little return. That's all I'm doing. Again, you take this stuff out of there, and you can take it for what it's worth. Now, one of our favorites over here on the left, Shai Bular. Shai Bular has hit the big time. He was on the compound this weekend. It's an hour and 18-minute episode. It is an unbelievable episode with Joe Fahmy. Okay, these two, basically, that's Michael Batnick on the right, that's Joe over here on the left, and Shai is in the black. They are fantastic together. They go over the markets. Joe and Shai are bullish individual stock investors. Michael is an ETF investor. He hosted for Josh Brown this weekend. If you have an hour, go out for a walk and put this on. Listen to it. Okay? Shai is a master, and he's literally, he's hand feeding you at this point. He is hand feeding you. This is the 10 best setups he's watching for the second half of 2025. If you didn't sign up for Seeking Alpha's second half and got those stocks, Shai's telling you, hey, here's the setup. He's telling you, here's the setup for the second half. No elevator pitch, but tell me which one's your favorite. I've got my favorites. I've got 3 or 4 of these on my watch list. Okay? And he's literally telling you the 5 small cap names I'm most excited about right now. And look at that. Over 1 month, he's up 22% in this portfolio. Year to date, he's up 18%. Again, the S&P isn't up 18%. His CAGR for each 83%. So Shai is killing it. And he's literally giving this to you on his Twitter account. That's it. That's it. I mean, he's super doing. He is doing this. This is super simple. Just follow him. Because you know what? Things can change in a heartbeat. Just a couple of months. On the left is the CNN Fear and Greed Index in April. On the right is where we stand today. Are you buying on the right or are you buying on the left? Because a lot of people sold to the left. Where do you sell? You sell to the right, okay? But you time it. You try and pick your sales. And you go long term. Again, buy and hold, if you can develop that muscle, far outweighs trading. The statistics tell you, the more you trade, the less return that you actually get. That's it. That's it. And CNN Fear and Greed Index, the VIX, the 10-year, it's all noise. Buy and hold will help you. So you buy when it's extreme fear. You trim when it's extreme greed. But hold it for over a year, because if you hold it for over a year and you start to trim at extreme greed, more than likely a good company with good products, with good profits and good management, you'll be up and you pay less in taxes. That's it. And don't forget about Apple. Okay, down at the bottom, you can't see it. You're going to have to look at this chart on the newsletter, but it's the relative performance. And you want to buy the dip. They point out at 15 on relative performance. Apple back here, January 2023, epic run. Apple back here, May 2024, epic run. We're back there. Do they come out with some crazy iPhone 17? That's going to do, or do they buy ChatGPT, or do they buy Perplexity? I can almost guarantee it, and it's the easiest trade in the book. If Apple actually buys an AI platform, okay, they've got the money to do it. They will go up. This will be a $240 stock if they buy an AI platform. But again, I just gave you that A+. Watch it go to 150. Watch it go to 150. But again, this is the largest stock in my portfolio. I am down year to date in my portfolio because this is such a large position. I've got reasons for it. That's why I say don't follow me, because I'll lose you money. But I'm fine with it. Risk, reward. I'm okay. I'm not going poor. Now, crypto was rocked over the 3-day weekend. Again, this is 24/7 trading, but a Bitcoin wallet holding 80K Bitcoin, 80,000 Bitcoin. It's worth $8.7 billion. Finally woke up after 15 years of dormancy and transferred 40,000 Bitcoin. That's a lot. That's $4 billion worth. That's a lot. So it rocked the crypto universe. And the new retail darling of crypto, this matches Bitcoin mining, AI data center, and energy. It's IREN. IREN. Go back 1 month, you're up 91%. 6 months, year to date, you're up 71%. IREN. It's a strong buy from Wall Street. There's 12 analysts that cover this, and they've got a price target of $19. That is still 15% from where you are today. 52-week high, $18. Again, it is getting a bid. Let's go over to TrendSpider. Do we have a strategy that actually works with this? Well, the 4-hour algorithm got you in at $5.89. $5.89. April 11th. You could have bought it with confirmation anytime. Maybe back here at $10 on June 23rd. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, with confirmation. That's when it took off. So we do have a strategy. You want to know why? Because you're able to backtest the 4-hour algorithm on this stock. See down here in the bottom left, it says 215.2%. That is what you get when you trade this particular stock for 28 positions over 24 months. Tells you when to get in, when to get out. Your average win, 69%. But look at this one. It's up 230% over 82 days. All you need is a couple of those to win, and that's the 4-hour algorithm. Okay, IREN. And if you want to analyze it with AI, again, Seeking Alpha has you covered. You get valuation is demanding with an EV sales of 10, significantly above the sector. Growth is exceptional with a forward revenue growth of 126%. Struggles with profitability. Stock momentum is strong, but their revisions are a little concerning with 5 downward revisions. So do you want to get into this one and make a bet? Find a strategy that works. It's as simple as that. Now, say you hear about nuclear stocks. Which one should you buy? Well, Seeking Alpha, they asked all of their analysts what are the most attractive nuclear energy stocks. There's Oklo, there's Cameco, there's BWX, there's Constellation, there's Vistra, there's Talon. I've gone over a couple. I've got my favorites. What are yours? Go and do the research. That's it. Okay, you can get this all with Seeking Alpha. And maybe you hear me say it's an AI market. Which ones are the most attractive right now? They went and asked Seeking Alpha analysts which are the ones. They brought up Nebius, great company. It's on my watch list. I want to get in. CoreWeave, I think it's incredibly overvalued. NVIDIA, Cloudflare. Again, which one's your favorite one? I've got my favorites. If you don't know what your favorites are, do the research and understand it. And what do we have this week? We have the Super Bowl of sales. It's Amazon Prime Day. This is what you can expect. Make sure you have a watch list. Make sure you know what goes on sale. I mean, again, if you are shopping at Amazon, Amazon is a stock that you should probably hold. And the 4-hour algorithm got you in here at $219. And you can see the 4-hour algorithm doesn't work. But I have gone through and I've many times said 188 is the support level until it's not. And where's the resistance? It's up here at 238. Again, if you go and just look at Amazon and you look at this 52-week range, your top of this is $242. So when you look at Wall Street's, that is Wall Street's average price target. It's 8%. Do you want to buy it right now for an 8% upside when there are so many others that you could buy? Or do you want to wait for a pullback? That's your choice. I've got my position. I bought in at 188. Why? That was a previous all-time high back here in July 2021. It's been dead weight. This has not been an outperformer. They've got AI, they've got retail, they've got advertising. And if they raise their price after this Prime Day on Amazon Prime, you've got billions of dollars additional in revenue. So I like it. I like that particular one. And if you're crazy about Amazon, again, the most bullish stretch of the year during the last 15 years is here And we can go and look at this. Let's look at it. It's 15 years. The most bullish stretch of the year is here. Where are we right now? In this 87% win. So do you want to buy it today? I wouldn't want to. I would want to buy it over the next 2 or 3 weeks and look at going into September with a better win record. And then you get Black Friday and all the sales, boom, it starts pumping. So again, this particular week, 87% of the time it's positive, and your average mean change was 3.86. If you saw this in TrendSpider, go and play a triple leveraged ETF. And don't forget, there's not just Amazon. Walmart is out there. Okay, Walmart is launching a dueling sale. And yes, they will steal some of Amazon Prime customers. Some folks, subscribe to both. You can get your groceries through Amazon. It's a hold. Seeking Alpha analysts say sell. It's at $98. Where's the top? $105. This one is a slow and steady winner. Year to date, you're up 8%. Wall Street thinks it's worth $108. That's a 10% upside. Do you want to go up there? Well, the quant says it's a hold. Why? The valuation. And when you look at the PE at 37, okay, and you look at their growth at 4%, and then you go over and look at Amazon, they're growing at 10%, and their PE is at 35. So which one do you really want to buy? For me, I'd rather own Amazon. But I'd rather wait for maybe something like the 4-hour algorithm to tell me when to get in. So again, the strategies I have, you don't have to use them. I'm just giving you my thought process. And yes, I will be buying things on Prime Day. And yes, I'm a Prime member, but I shop at Walmart every week. I own both stocks, but I own significantly more Amazon than Walmart. And for those of you who are writing off Cathie Woods, let me just show you something, okay? Because ARK-K, her flagship fund, it's up 55% versus the S&P at 13% over 1 year. Year to date, it's up 25%. 6 months, it's up 18%, okay? Then when you get into the longer term, this is an ETF that you can absolutely trade. And I've done this many times, not recently, but I have traded her ETF many times. She has ARKK, ARKG, ARKW. She has, I think, 6 different funds here. But I wanted to point out, she is really good in a growth market. Why? Because her holdings are growth. Her number one holding, Tesla. That's why this one's down 1% in pre-market, because Tesla's down almost 6% because Elon and Trump are fighting again. And we don't know when this stops. But if you want to own a Tesla in an ETF, I own it through XLY, but I used to own it in ARKK, and then I sold ARKK. I got sick of the downturn in 2022, and I sold it, still with a profit. But Cathie Woods is not done. Now understand, ARKK comes with a hefty fee. The expense ratio is 0.75%. That's huge. Just to give you an idea, QQQ is 0.20. So you're paying her to manage those positions. And she's done it, and she's done it really, really well. So ARKK, I just want to bring that up because you should be watching it. And by the way, if you want to scan for winners, you can scan the entire holdings of all the ARK funds in TrendSpider. So you can find upward moving stocks that are within her portfolio because she makes public what she's holding on a daily basis. And that's part of the reason I got out of that, is because people started shorting ones that she was buying. It puts pressure on that ETF. But I like scanning against what she owns because she has a very, very good eye for picking out those early winners, just as Shai does. So I wanted to bring up, hey, ARKK, it's a real investment. Now, if you just want to trade and you just want to, hey, I want momentum trade. Well, there are always ones out there, and ARTL is one that's going today. So if you're listening live, pull up ARTL, and you can just go after hours, and we'll go a 5-minute chart after hours, and you can see, hey, we shot up here at 7:45 a.m. this morning. We went all the way up to $30.50, and it opened at 12. That's an enormous gain, okay? Could you have gotten in here? Probably not. The reality is probably not. Now, what do you do when you see something like this? Well, it's called, the way I've always traded it was confirmation. Confirmation's a very easy principle, and I go over it in my newsletter. Want to know how to get the newsletter? Go over to Linktree. It's right here. It's the 5th link. And you can go to this education section and you can just type in confirmation and you can see it, but I'm going to give it to you. Okay. The reality is I use a 9-day EMA for my confirmation. When it trades over that, I'm good buying. When it trades under that, I want to sell. There's an art to it. Understand the art. And I go over all of that in the education section about some of the rules that I use. Now, is it absolute? You're gambling here. This is simply momentum trading. So it takes time to understand that. It's not something you can pick up. It's not something that, oh my God, if you make 300% on your first momentum trade, you're doing it well. But I guarantee you, you will lose before you actually make another trade. I mean, it will be a losing strategy in my history. But I've done really well with it by just looking up huge stock gainers in the pre-market. And you can find that in TrendSpider with a trend. You can find it on websites. You can do a lot of that. And one of the things that I look at is I do scans every day, okay, in the 4-hour algorithm. The 4-hour algorithm scans are something that I am proud of, that I particularly use in my personal life, in my personal portfolio. And I scan and I say, okay, what has an entry in the 4-hour algorithm? Now here, Exxon's a great example. Would I buy it here? Okay, it has an entry in the 4-hour algorithm, but you can see the performance isn't very good. You lose 6% versus buying and holding, you make 8%. And I've identified 120 as a resistance level on this one. Why? We'll go back to 2023. It looks like it trades up to 120 and then pulls back. So if you're going to buy at 112, expect 120 to actually be the top. So would I trade this one? No. Even though it's in the scans, wouldn't be one that I would trade. Now let's look at some of the other ones. Watch list. AIQ. This one has a bullish entry in the 4-hour algorithm, but it had an entry down here at $33. It hasn't gotten you out. But it tells you, hey, we may be going for another run. Would I buy this one? Well, let me look at a long-term chart. And the RSI is at 66. The MACD is up as high as it's been. It's not worth it for me. So let's go to the next one. It's Broadcom. I want to get into Broadcom, and I've been waiting to get into Broadcom. The 4-hour algorithm got you in at 178. It just got you another entry up here. Okay, I've already identified that 184 as a support level. Unfortunately, I sold when it broke that support level, and I thought we were going down. I was in long term, and I said, you know what? I'm cutting my ties with it. I own it through ETFs. I'll get back in at a later date. I didn't trust this bounce, and I've been waiting to get back in. I want to get back in. But right now, the RSI on a weekly is at 69. I don't want to get back in. So is this one that I would trade? No. Right now, I'm just waiting. And I tell you, when I bought here and when I sold during this week, March 31st, because it broke that resistance line, that support line. But I know the 4-hour algorithm wins 50% of the time based on the back test. So I'm just waiting to get back in, but I don't think that it's time. Let's look at another one. Datadog. I think this one was just added to the S&P 500 and it popped on Friday. You can see the pop. Now here's the 4-hour algorithm. Got you in at 95 back on April 9th. You're trading at 155. That's a great gain. Do I want to get in here? Well, the RSI is at 86. Even though we could be going for another leg up, the risk reward is not worth it to me. But the 4-hour algorithm makes 122% versus 58% buying and holding. Your average win is 15%. So if this is up 15%, I would want to be in there. Let's look at a weekly chart on this one. Again, it's looking about the risk and reward at the time that the trigger tells you. And when the 4-hour algorithm tells you to get in, is it an opportunity to get in? Well, look at this weekly chart. You can see back here in 2021, the all-time highs around 180. Is it worth buying at 160, knowing that the top may be 180? Not for me. So do I take all these trades? No. But I put them in there because people want them. And again, you don't need TrendSpider. You can just get them all in the newsletter and then implement them into your own strategy. If you don't have a strategy, that's simply what I'm telling you, is get the tools. Try TrendSpider for 2 weeks for $7. You don't get my 4-hour algorithm, but you can try and import a strategy. Get premium alpha picks because these will find you the stocks, or you can go and look at them. Again, Datadog. Let's just go and look at Datadog and Seeking Alpha. Is it a good one? Well, year to date is up 8.71%. The quant has it as a hold. Did it ever have it as a strong buy? No. So it's been a hold. Why is it a hold? Well, I can tell easily right here. It's the valuation. And when you go and you look at it and you go down to valuation, it's challenging. Price to earnings and price to sales are significantly higher than the sector. But all the other ratings are good. And Wall Street thinks that it's a buy. They have a $140 price target, and that's 10% below. So is it worth taking? Again, the tools are there. If you have your own tools, go and use them. That's it for today. I will talk to you tomorrow. Again, remember these sales end today. The next deal that you're going to get with these types of savings on both TrendSpider and Seeking Alpha is Black Friday. So this is your last day. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you, bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.